to introduce you now to some thoughts of someone called Amy Cuddy, who's coined the idea of power posing. What she's discovered, along with some others, is the idea that there's a relationship between how we stand physically and what neurochemicals and hormones our brain releases into our system. If you imagine a footballer scores a goal, everyone's excited, and we have big gestures. People puff out their chest, they do big high fives and knee slides, they go and jump on the railings and the arms outstretched, all these sorts of things. And she goes, why? Why are people doing that? And the thought was that maybe what's happening is that we are sending a message to our brain saying, please, I've done something great. I want to feel great too. Our brain therefore then reacts to the big gestures and go, well, if they're doing big gestures, they must have done something brilliant. I'll give them the correspondingly brilliant hormones. And so this is the idea that we can generate an optimal hormonal state by how we stand. So she's tested two quite extreme situations. Number one is, well, what happens if we do the big gestures, even if we haven't done anything brilliant to have deserved them? Will we still get the reward of the nice hormones? And what we're really talking about is testosterone here. Well, she's pretty clear that she thinks it does help. So if you do a large pose, from the sort of Wonder Woman pose right through to the Usain Bolt archer, if you pull these postures, it tells the brain that you've done something wonderful and you get a flush of testosterone or something positive hormonally to put you in a confident frame of mind. But almost more importantly, the opposite seems also to be true, which is that if you put yourself into a low power pose, your brain will think there is a problem and will start to give you cortisol, adrenaline, and other much less helpful and productive hormones. We often go into a low power pose when we are on our phones. Because what it does is it brings our hands together, but we end up kind of crunching up a little bit in order to see at the little screen. And by hunching up and curling up and being quite small, we are effectively adopting a kind of hiding or a low power, even a fetal position. And our brain interprets this as worrying and gives us some negative hormone. Interestingly, that's slightly how people understand doom scrolling. It's the idea that when we get on our phones, we go low power, so our brain gives us negative hormones. In that bad situation, we need something to counterbalance that. So we start to scroll and look for little exciting things on our social media feed or on our blog or whatever. We get a like or a thumbs up, we see something that we like, and that releases a little bit of happiness because we see something that makes us good. And those two cancel each other out, and we get stuck that we don't want to stop scrolling because we are more generally in a low power pose that makes us feel bad about resuming our connection with the rest of the world. So if you're about to go into a performing situation where you're nervous, then think about how much space you're occupying. If you follow Amy Cuddy, you might then start to do power poses and make yourself bigger and bigger and bigger so that you feel the rewarding hormones in your system.